Hi folks, welcome back to the Amazing Education and Ugly Video Show. Yeah, it's the Amazing Education station. It gives you the information you need to know and sometimes give you exciting or sometimes boring video. So it's just to listen to. I'm a master educator with over 17 years of teaching experience. My IQ is usually above 120. I'm not a financial advisor, doctor, or lawyer, but I can't legally give you advice about those subjects, but I'm going to educate you about the subject. You're going to be a lot better off, especially if you don't know what your IQ is. Well, you can definitely benefit from watching this. And yeah, comment, like, subscribe. Please share the videos. Things are going to be a lot better. You're going to have a better, brighter future. We would have a more peaceful world. I advocate human rights, respecting human beings. That's right. And if you don't, well, you're harming society. Okay, so you should stop it, and you want to be better off. Most people, they want to be better off, so do good things to other people. That's rule number one. It's people say it's a golden rule to sort of treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, you can get even more benefit to yourself when you do that. Treat other people even better than you expect to be treated. Yeah, I guess if you treat them how you would wish to be treated, that would be great, right? But on the other hand, it's just not as easy as that, because you know, when you say, oh, I would like people just to give me money for nothing, so I'm going to treat people like that. Well, you know, then you might lose all your money. Do you really want somebody to give away all their money and be poor? So it's a little more complicated than just treating other people the way you want to be treated. And it has to be, you have to think long term and the total consequences. That's why things are a little bit confusing in this world. So now one thing that's confusing is financial security. No financial worries, no money worries. Well, that's why I'm making a whole series about how to get up to millionaire status. And there are a lot of people that are financially education sort of channels. I didn't say that right, but anyway, you get my point. And a lot of them are about real estate, and they give risky methods. You know, like, oh, borrow money and have 30 properties. Well, that's great if you're a professional and you have the time and you've got the money to take the losses. When 40% of those people, maybe as much as 60% of those people that, you know, go into multiple properties on mortgages and loans, they don't succeed and end up dropping out, possibly bankrupt. So be careful. I don't advocate any of that, but you know, there's a really easy way to have rental property to get on your way to the millionaire net worth. Is to, well, number one, okay, stop spending so much, earn more than you spend, and you know, learn how to cut back on your biggest expenses. You can reduce the size of the place that you rent, but maybe more important would be sort of education, and get official qualifications or start a business or something, so that you know, you have the master's degrees, the PhDs and stuff, where people, they look at that and they can see, okay, this person deserves a good salary. Or if you run a business, you have to run it well and deserve good pay for whatever goods or services that you offer. Okay, don't run a junky business. And get good educational degrees. Check it out ahead of time. What's going to be the return on your educational investment? Chances. What's the percentage of students that graduate when they start certain programs? What's the percentage of students in that program that you're choosing that get work in that field, or if not in that field, work at all, and what is their average pay. And so be practical. Don't throw your money down the education hole. You gotta, realize that a lot of education is just worthless and expensive. So another way to go bankrupt. Okay, but anyway, and of course, do your own research and consider your own abilities in relation to all of that. If you don't finish things that you start, then good luck. Hopefully you can improve, cut back and eliminate whatever addictions or toxic substances, cigarettes, smoking, chewing, addictive or harmful intoxicants, intoxication, that includes, yes, alcohol. People want to promote alcohol as a health benefit, especially wine. But, if you look carefully, it might help your heart. But what about your mental health and your overall health, And do you limit yourself to one glass every other night, something like that? And what does it do to your finances? How much does it cost? You got to think about all that, because remember, alcohol kills brain cells. Brain health determines how happy you are. So do you want to have a healthy heart and then you're just not happy? Okay, so maybe you should also cut off even that glass of wine every week back to once a year. So, plus, if you're taking medications, you shouldn't be taking any alcohol whatsoever. Yeah, look it up. Okay, so not a doctor, not medical advice. Okay, do your own research. All right. Hope I've got you thinking. So, now, getting up to financial stability, maybe generational wealth that you can pass on in business to your family, and that would be nice. So, what can you do? Real estate, and save up for that down payment if you've never bought a property, or if you own a property. So when you buy it, you can rent it after living in it a year or two, and you can live in just part of the house, just one room of the house, and rent some other rooms, or half of it. You can get a home loan, or do some renovations so that it's not one living space, and do it all legally. Follow the regulations, find out what they are, get the permits, and have it done so that you can have two living spaces, and then the place can pay for itself. So there it's like getting a free house, which boosts your net worth. Okay, and then later in your retirement or whenever you want, you can sell it and buy a smaller place, and then you have the extra money. Keep all the records, because you can reduce your taxes. Okay, don't lose the financial information. Keep it in multiple locations, and keep multiple copies in multiple locations, so it's not lost. All right, and so then, how do you find renters that might cause you trouble? Here's a way. So when you send them a lease, you might find they don't even pay attention to it. They just sign it, return it. Well, but did you read it again? They might have changed some of the parts of the lease. So don't just assume it's what you sent to them. If it's different than what you sent to them, and they're not going to be living there very long, 6 months, 12 months, whatever, you can discuss it with them and come to an agreement. But if they didn't say anything, and they want to live there a long time, and it was them that changed it, I would just back out at that point. Don't sign the lease. So the way leases work is the prospective tenant, the incoming renter person that's going to be paying you the money, the rent, they look it over and sign it first, and then they give it to you. Then you sign it and give them a copy. All right, so that's like you have the last look at it to approve it before it's signed and returned to them, and you put the date on there, of course. All right, so anyway, yeah, so look into that, because some people are tricky and they will change provisions. And if somebody goes over every detail of the lease and asks you questions and takes a long time, that's actually one of the best kind of people that you could find. You might be so annoyed, like, oh my gosh, I just want to sign this, oh please. Well, if you're impatient, but they're a detail-oriented person, they're probably going to treat your property better than you do. You know, they're gonna improve your property. Maybe it will at least not cause it unusual amount of damage. And so that's a good sign when somebody does this. Now, if they take many days to do it, no. But if they do it all in 1 or 2 days, and they say, like, here are all my questions, and it's all together, long list or something like that, you know, or maybe just back and forth just a couple times within a week of correspondence. And I say this because you can do this. You don't even have to live anywhere near the property. I have a remote property, like I said, a house that I lived in, and then move out. I save a ton of money paying just $550 rent in 2022. So $550 a month is what I pay, and I rent. So I don't have to do any yard work, no repairs, nothing. I'm not responsible for utilities, nothing. And my renters, they're also responsible for the utilities, and they take care of 95% of everything. So it frees up your time so much. And that's another important thing, to have financial security and stability, passive income, where you have so much free time, and it's a lot better for your health. You're going to be a lot happier. So do this. Buy a house, rent it after a while, and move out. You have the experience of renting before you move out. Then you get landlord insurance, I should say, landlord insurance. Okay. Other red flags, which I haven't talked about. Somebody claims to have sent you information. Oh, like, I've completed the application, I've completed the background check, but it's not true. There's no evidence. And then you find out they've been hiding something. If they finally do come through, there's something really unusual. It's a huge red flag. It's just like, they're just not honest. If you have any evidence of them, like with relationship troubles, that's another red flag. Okay, they probably don't get along with people very well. They're a troubled person. A lot of times, this might be a higher income person. They're focused on work. And not always. Higher income usually are actually more generous people, and look at the larger picture. They have higher incomes because they're more educated, right? But it depends on who they are. Are they a business owner, or are they like somebody with children, and they should be taking care of the children, but they have an incredible income, and then they often have incredible amounts of debt. And so it could be a high-stress person who's doing a lot of partying and drinking and who knows what, illegal drugs. And if they complain, like, oh, it looks like these people are drug users, it looks like a drug house, they're complaining, but actually giving a signal to you, which is they probably use drugs. That's right. And they wanted to see your reaction. And they're going to hide it. There's no way for you to know. You're not going to find out until they're possibly arrested, and they'll probably never be arrested. If they're very intelligent, they have high incomes. If they're low income, yeah, probably. And you would find out their arrest record when you do the background check, if they ever manage to provide enough information for you to do it. Okay, so I hope that helped you out. How to spot red flags. the missing information, or when it finally comes in, some unusual things. Like they might have wonderful credit, but they've got $500,000 worth of money that they owe. And this happened to me right now in 2022. This just happened to me. It was somebody claiming they had finished everything. They were so friendly. Oh, it was they grew up down the block and they just really wanted to get back there. And well, but they had a dangerous breed dog. It was in the top 10 most dangerous breed dogs. Oh, but it's such a friendly dog. Oh, I can, how about I pay you a little more, or I'll put in like a dog yard and it'll be fine. No. These are the kind of people where the dog attacks some child or a woman with a baby, and then you are just sorry. You're just sorry that you put them in there. There's a correlation between dangerous dogs and lower income people, and you can look up which groups. I'm not gonna stick my foot in my mouth, but you can look it up. And I don't want to be discriminatory here. I'll just say that. Okay, look it up. You can figure it out. The pit bulls, who owns the pit bulls and the German shepherds and the Doberman pinschers and all that. Yeah, you'll figure it out. And yeah, those are the people you might not have a great relationship with, and they're not gonna be respectful and honest, probably. That's what I'm thinking. And they don't understand. They might just view you as just a sucker, just a dumb sucker. And you'll find out if you ignore my advice. Just go ahead. Don't do background checks. Don't do the smart move. I think it's TransUnion or Experian. Smart move. Check it out. Yeah, go ahead. Don't do those, and you can face the consequences. Just face the consequences. But I hope you don't. So especially avoid smoking. Avoid the smoking tenants. I have more tips about this in the next video. Okay, like, thumbs up, and subscribe. Thanks.